What's going on, guys? I hope you're having a wonderful day. So recently, I've been getting a lot of messages on social media talking about if I can do my review on the NBC's new show, World of Dance. Now, I wanted to wait a couple weeks, it's been 2 weeks since it came out, so that I can get a better understanding of the show, I can see more performances, everything like that, before I give my overall review and kind of talk about it, give some questionable things that have been going on with it, and just get the overall opinions of other dancers that are decently well known and very well known in the dance community. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. Alright, so what the World of Dance competition is it's a dance competition where individuals and groups of dancers all compete. As of right now, it's in the kind of auditioning in front of judges. There's a panel of 3 judges, and they kind of rate each performance. So each individual or each group will have their own performance by themselves, and it will be graded based on regular dance things such as how clean the performance was, the complexity of the different moves, and such things like that. Alright, so I'll start off and say that if you don't know as much about dance or anything like that, I think you'll really enjoy this show. Personally, when I watch it, I always love to see a good performance by a lot of these dancers who I grew up watching or that I'm friends with that are on the show. And so that's something that I think is really cool. If you just want to see a good performance, for example, Keone and Mari was a great performance in my opinion. Les Twins, always a great performance to watch. Fiction, just like all these big names, Kinjas and all of them. If you love watching a good performance, then you'll really enjoy the show. Now, where the problems come in are, as I've kind of watched, I think not necessarily the judges are bad, but their grading system is bad. I've seen some of the better groups get really low scores that just shocked me of like, wow, I can't believe that. Like, they should have got so much higher than this other person who did like a half as good job, but they're getting such a better score. So my biggest concern was definitely with the grading. So I decided to go, and like I said before, I waited another week. And it did not change. The scoring and everything was exactly the same. Good dancers were getting low scores, and not as great dancers were getting very high scores. And this kind of started like letting me think that maybe there's a possibility that this is going based on how well known these dancers are. This is very common, unfortunately, in a lot of dance competitions where it's judges deciding how good the dancers are compared to an audience seeing how good the dancers are. And so pretty much I was thinking, because a lot of the dancers that are more well known, I don't want to throw any type of names out there again, just because it's not my place to be doing that. But a lot of the dancers who are more mainstream are going and getting the higher scores. And this is a really big problem. Now, I've talked about this on my channel before, and it kind of makes dance look bad. And I went on social media and I was getting tons of messages about it. All the other dancers who I know, they were all posting about how like crazy this is, how the scoring and everything was just messed up. And I found out a few things from this, and one of the big things was a lot of dancers who are very well known, they were saying how they actually auditioned to be on the show, and they found out about what was all going on with the show, with scoring, anything else, and they decided that they weren't going to perform on the show. Now, this is kind of crazy, and it also leads me to believe, which I'll explain in a minute, that this show could be rigged. Now, what I mean by rigged is that they've already know who's going to be on the show. Obviously, they had auditions to see who was going to be on the show, and that it may be that they already chose a winner before they even performed, just based on how well known they are. Now, before people go and get kind of angry at me saying, oh no, how could I be saying something like that, there's actually been a lot of dancers who are very well known. Like I said, I don't want to name any names, just because it's their personal thing. But if you follow a lot of these big dancers on social media or anything, you will know that recently they've been posting how they know who's going to be winning the show. Now, this is just a claim. There's no way to prove if they're lying or telling the truth. But they're claiming that they know who's going to win. If this is the case, this kind of goes along with the reason of why it seems like some people are getting higher scores and others are getting lower, even though the performances show different. And also, what makes this a little more credible for me to even talk about is some of the people that were saying they auditioned and chose not to perform are members of the same crew that the people saying they know who are going to win. Now, this could mean a lot of things. This is the main reason why I'm starting to think that, oh, this may be kind of a rigged competition, because the person who auditioned and chose not to based on things they heard from the, network, I guess you could say, and they chose not to perform, are now people in the same group saying, yeah, this doesn't seem too legit. Now, all of this is up to interpretation, so don't dislike this video just because I gave my opinion on it, and let me know what you guys think of the show in general, with regards to, do you think it's rigged? The last concern that I'd say the most dancers were talking about the night after the first episode aired was a lot of dancers felt that the whole idea of this dance competition was misleading. What I mean by that is a lot of dancers figured it was going to be a big dance competition, which they got, but they thought that it was going to be something where underground dancers that aren't well known, can make it on the scene and kind of get shown their skills and abilities, kind of like a So You Think You Can Dance type style. But instead what they got is they have to audition to go on the show, and since they're going against some of these even crazier dancers who have already won these shows and been extremely well known, dancing with just all these famous singers and everything else, they kind of got pushed out of the scene. And so a lot of dancers were complaining about that, giving it bad reviews. I wanted to keep my mind open to all of these, and I think that after watching the trailer for the show again, it kind of explained that they want the best of the best. I kind of see how people might have thought that, oh, okay, so dancers from anywhere are going to be trying out. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. I personally didn't think that the trailer was very misleading. It kind of said like I said before, they want the best of the best. They wanted to see who's the best overall. What I do think they should have done is at least split the categories so there's two things being judged, which is the individuals, which would have then made more underground dancers been able to make it on the scene, and then the other group being groups of dancers, whether it's two or more, that can be decided later on. Overall, I did not dislike the show. The show in general is really good. Like I said earlier on, I love seeing a good performance by some of my really well-liked dancers and groups. So I would not say don't watch the show. Definitely watch the show. Enjoy the performances. Just, in my opinion, take the grading and everything else with a grain of salt. Just think about the grading system, or don't, just throw it out. Basically, watch the performances. Don't necessarily listen to what's being said. Make your own opinion on it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little review and kind of controversial topic going around with this in the dance world. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and tutorials if you want to learn how to dance. So check out my channel, share it with all your friends, and let me know your opinion. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? It's all open to interpretation. I hope I didn't offend anyone with what I said, because like I said, it's just based on my opinion, and also I've taken a lot of consideration from other dancers for this. It wasn't me just going based on what I saw. I waited a few weeks. So let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.